Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. Time has come for these treacherous Knights of Ariga. Well, the time... okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. In several turns, once we have marched across a huge stretch of desert, the time will have come. Then, for these... Okay, listen, the point is, we're going for it. Let's start going for it. This is just going to be a long sequence of march mode moves. Unfortunately, crossing long distances takes a long time. That's just sort of how time works, and also distance. We are going to need to pick up another unit for this army before we engage in battle. Obviously, we want to fill out, and there's probably some recruitment that needs to be done over here as well, but we can wait on all that stuff to make sure that we're bringing in as much money as possible per turn here. And we need to figure out how to interpret the Old One's meaning. So I need a geomantic... Sorry, I have a geomantic pylon. I need a Shrine of the Old Ones and a Scrying Pool. We can build a Scrying Pool anywhere, but the Shrine of the Old Ones really ought to go in a major settlement. I don't want to remove anything in this major settlement. I mean, do we need these spawn pools here anymore? Yes, I would like to keep those spawn pools there. You know what we could do? Now that we've got public order way under control in this province, we could remove this building and use that slot for that. And then we should start a Scrying Pool somewhere this turn. And honestly, it would be best... We could start it next turn, I guess. It would be best for it to be in the Great Desert, probably, because it gives a bonus to the movement speed of armies starting their turn here. Yeah, we gotta push, like, east and northeast. It might be a good idea to have a Scrying Pool. Sorry, was it armies starting their turn in this region, not in this province? So really, it would be best for it to be in the Pools of Despair. I suppose we could remove one of the money-making buildings? I probably want to keep the Lodestone. Or did we build... Okay, I am not building one of those anywhere else, right? We want to make sure that we still have to have one of those buildings. Actually, you know what? I'm not even sure if that's true. We had to have it to unlock the Tablet of Wartech, but it isn't actually a requirement for all of the text in the line. We probably could get rid of that. I'm just thinking the Pools of Despair is where we're going to be pushing up from, because we have to take this whole region here, the Southern Badlands. Gorgazon, Granti Mingol, and Agrul Migdal, which is over here somewhere. So basically, it's going to be a long run. Xandria is really where we want it. Alright, I guess let's not stress too much about the location of the first one. The first one is just to unlock the tech. The Plain of Tuskers, that's an okay place for it, right? And actually, we could throw down... We could throw down one of these Shrines of the Old Ones here right now. That's totally fine. It increases the cash output of all of the buildings in the province, which is a pretty good fit here. You know what? We're going to build it in the Black Tower of Archon, but I'll put the Scrying Pool here, just to get it going. Because we gotta get some new tech, man. We're going to run out of stuff to research. Alright, this guy's headed west. This other guy's headed east. How close are we? Okay, we're pretty close. Well, we're pretty close to the mountain pass. The Golden Tower's, like, down there. It's gonna be a minute. And we probably do not want to spend any money at all on recruitment. Like, we don't want to spend any money on anything. We're trying to put together an awful lot of very expensive buildings here. So I imagine we're going to have a pretty easy time taking on Phyrus, even with this many troops there, because we're actually going to get to use both of our armies at the same time. And the army that is camped in Alhaik under the control of the Slann, remember, has like 12 units of pterodons in it or something. So we will be able to resolve that siege probably a lot faster than the last couple we did, because we will have so many rocks to drop. There will be no enemies left by the time we are done. Right, Wulfric the Wanderer is a legendary lord who is pretty powerful, and his army is pretty powerful, so it's probably a good idea for us to have some idea what they're up to. At some point, we probably will end up having to push up into the north here in order to take over enough like world capital settlements to win our final objective, so good idea to know what the north looks like before we have to approach it. So we found out from our objectives, from actually looking at our objectives for the first time in a long time during the last episode, that we don't actually have to push very far east. We just have to get these two areas, and then that's all of the objectives that we need in this like big western desert. But then we do have to get armies over to the eastern desert, which is going to necessitate either carving a path over there ourselves, or getting friendly enough with the people over there that they won't mind us marching a huge army through. And there certainly are benefits to conquering, right? We could be making a lot more money, we could be running additional armies. I'm just trying to think, like, we need to take over, what, 8 of the major world capitals? One of them is Khemri, so we'll get that. There's a couple to the north, like, I believe Miragliano counts. I don't want to take Miragliano by force. I'd be fine with taking it by force. I would like it if we could get it through alliance, but as our great power modifier grows, that kind of stuff's going to get harder and harder. But we could definitely come up and get the Empire capital, get the Bretonnian capital. I'm just trying to figure out how much of the world we're going to have to take over in order to eventually win the game. I think it's quite a lot. I mean, the point of Mortal Empires is not to sit quietly in your little corner, right? Alright, Roxburgh, do we need to be... Okay, we can stay on the southern side of this river. It's not a big deal. We'll cross here. All the rivers have little bridges and crossings. You can just ford the river, but it's very expensive movement-wise. And no, it does not matter if your character is flying. It should. I agree with you. I hear the thing you're saying, and you're right. Because it's the thing that I'm saying. But, unfortunately, flying characters have just as much trouble crossing a river as everybody else. Okay, Shrine of the Old Ones. That is the right one. So in 2 turns, we'll run out of things to research. And then another turn after that, we will have access to a whole new tier of stuff. Roxburgh is still leveling. We actually are seeing him run out of ammunition still. These very, very long sieges. Okay, next turn we can start spending money on troops again. I have to say, I am super glad that we've got all of the campaign movement speed buffs that we've gotten, because it takes forever to travel places in this game. So the three playable... I think there's 4 playable Dark Elf factions. 3 of them are still alive. All 4 of the playable pirate factions are still alive. The Cult of Liberis and the Exiles of Nehek are... I know the Exiles of Nehek are like way up in the upper left corner. I'm a little surprised they're still alive, because they start next to all of the hostile Dark Elves. The Court of Liberis, I'm not actually sure where they are. That's a Tomb King faction led by Khalida. I know they're very archer focused. I don't know where they start on the Mortal Empires map. Just trying to get a sense of who is still in the game. Both of the Wood Elf factions are. And it looks like maybe none of the minor Wood Elf factions, so maybe the big ones consumed them all. They live in this enchanted forest of Athaloran, which is like around here somewhere. Yeah, the Oak of Ages, all that stuff. So lots of Wood Elves. We're going to have to deal with the Wood Elves, because we're going to end up, when we take Skavenblight, we're going to be right next to them. There's going to be a mountain range between us, but our border will press right up against theirs. Wood Elves have a tendency to be very horrible, in my experience. They're just mean-spirited dudes. A lot of them are insane tree monsters, which I think contributes. So who knows? We might have to kill them all. That's possible. Sorry, did our dwarven friends just declare war on all of the other dwarves? Why? I mean, listen, I'm not opposed to taking out the major dwarf faction to defend the honor of Greybeard's prospectors. But I don't know why how did that even happen? They're nowhere near each other. They should have no contact. Yeah, sometimes stuff like this the AI gets weird, like when the Vanaheimlings declared war on us the moment they saw our agent. No, Tiktaq'to the Builder. Okay, well this buff is probably not gonna be terribly meaningful. Are we getting close? I guess we could have gotten in the water to get over there faster. But I want to be able to... I want to get near Alhaik. I want to coordinate with our agent here a little bit. I do want to see who is in control of the island of Albion. Oh, it's the Vanaheimlings. Never mind. We don't need to go up there and see that settlement after all. You know what? I still might like to get vision of the settlement so we can see if it changes hands, though. And Roxburgh is going to be able to actually see into the mountain pass. So there's a bunch of settlements in here, I know that. Karag Orud is going to be controlled by Skaven. There's a Skaven clan that starts over here. No way, that's just actually sitting empty. And we actually have some money to play with, so what are we going to do with it? We could hire troops. How are we doing on... Okay, we cannot start this upgrade this turn. Maybe we want to save so we could put together a Ripperdactyl hatchery up here, actually on the front. I kind of think that's a... I mean, we don't have to save that much, though, right? We need to have, like, 700 gold left over. So let's do an upgrade that costs less than 2,700. Nope, less than 2,700. Yeah, something like this would be fine. Oh, we're actually... Okay, maybe I want to save all my money, because we're one turn off of being able to upgrade this to a temple city. Okay, yeah, I think we're saving all of the money. So far, a number of the most recent episodes have been like 3 game turns in an hour. Ooh, Safri was destroyed. Oh, that's right. We did not have a trade agreement with them because they lost control of their port several turns ago. But yeah, we're going to actually pass some game time here. It seems like the Skaven factions can sometimes survive because their AI enemies will wipe out all their armies, but then fail to realize that the ruins are their settlements, and so won't finish the job. Could be the case with the Skaven to our east as well. And I really have no idea what we're getting into with this Lord Croak questline. Like, I don't have any idea how many steps are left or what kind of crazy stuff we might have to do after this, but I think we can reasonably assume... wow. Geez, that Bretonnian army is like 90% peasant archers? That's weird. But I think we can reasonably assume that it will end with a big quest battle, because almost all of the big quests do. So we should definitely be looking toward recruiting fancier, more high-tech units so that we can use them in the cool quest battle that we are eventually going to have to fight. It's possible that we'll be able to take Lord Croak with the resources we have, but I would like to have some bigger and cooler stuff. We should probably flip through our diplomacy menu again in a turn or two here and see if we can't get anybody to upgrade their standing with us. Although, of course, we're settling further and further south with everyone. We're probably going to have a hard time getting a proper alliance with the dwarves in the mountains, but since it turns out we don't have to have control of that region, it doesn't end up mattering too much, as long as they don't actually attack us. Oh, do you want peace now? It's like, hey, I thought about this a little bit, and I was hasty earlier. Yep, and there will be consequences for your hastiness. Nathan. The great King Nathan. I'm sorry, is he abandoning his people? Is that what's happening there? Wood Elves declaring war on people, no big surprise there. Some games, you do see the Wood Elves just kind of hang out in their little magic forest forever and not really affect anybody. But a lot of the time, they just get weirdly aggressive and start murdering people at random. Okay, even more campaign movement range for Tiktaq'to. It's beautiful. So, next turn we attack, right? We can't quite get over there. Oh, I can get over there in normal movement mode. I was expecting to have to wait again. Okay, well then this turn we attack. It looks like he is not outside of reinforcement range. It would be easiest if we killed him first. Then again, his whole army is just groups of polearms.
Do you take me for a churl?
I'm wondering if we could just attack anyway. His army will get to, they'll get to be inside the walls, but I don't know that they're going to affect us very much. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go for it. I think we can do it. So we need to move... We need to move this army in. We're going to go into siege mode. I guess we could just do a lightning strike. I was thinking we'll bring our reinforcements in and we'll have a big reinforcements versus reinforcements battle. But is it better to just lightning strike, lock Nathan the Devoted out of the battle, and then go after him afterward? Let's see, what do they have here? The settlement garrison has Grail Knights. They are living saints. They're sipped from the Grail, and they are elevated among... Okay. They have like a little bit of extra... Oh, they have perfect vigor, and a little bit of extra physical resistance. They do just have like a lot of dudes. I think we gain more from including our army than they gain from including their army. So yeah, let's do a full battle. Do a whole big mess here. Oh wait, Slon, stop. We gotta grab these regiments of renown. They should come to the fight as well. Okay, there we go. Let's have a big let's have a big old battle. Oh, we get to see the Stegodon for the first time. I'm excited about that. We have not seen the Stegodon in action yet. So we are going to have so many rocks to drop. Now, we don't really control the angle that our reinforcements approach from, but I believe their reinforcements will already be inside the city, despite the fact that their reinforcing army is further from their city than either of my armies are. That's just sort of how it works. So we're going to have to set up our initial strategy here around the angle that the reinforcements come in from. So they're going to have to fly in from the edge of the map, so they're going to be vulnerable to tower fire for a long time. So probably what we want to do is set up the rest of our army. Okay, they're coming in right here. So we probably want to set up the rest of our army over here so that these towers are not manned. That'll give those units the safest approach. And, I mean, you know what this looks like. We're going to do a very similar thing to the thing that we have done in the past. I think I probably will have us start kind of against the wall here. Oh, you know what? We could do it right here. I'm just thinking, like, we can't put ourselves in a position where there won't be a tower, but we can aggressively clear the wall behind the one tower we start near. So let's do that. I only have one unit of salamanders in this army now, which is a real shame. It is something we will fix. Alright, so we lost some power reserve there. Yeah, we lost like 10 or 20 points of power reserve for 6 points in the pool. That wasn't great. Alright, let's go for it. We've given them a much better start against us here. I better do these manually. So you guys fly through. This is the area we gotta clear. Our units start attacking as soon as they get kind of in range of the archers. Hopefully we won't lose too much real attack time by having them fly past and then come back. You guys just get through. And do we want to break the gate down right away? If the AI was smart enough to open the gate, I think that they would probably be in better shape here. I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no, we do not want to break the gate down right away. What we do want to do is get all of our various dinosaurs over in this area, and we'll figure it all out afterward. I'm going to be careful to put myself in a position where I'm not in the fire range of that tower. And unfortunately, the way that reinforcements work in this game is really annoying. We're going to have to, like, go over there and grab control of our individual reinforcement units one by one. Get them to do things. Also, the control bar is going to get really crowded really quickly here. Okay, so all of you guys just get over here and we'll figure it out later. Don't spread out like that. Sorry, stay roughly in formation. That's not the... Okay. That's not the formation you are in. We'll have all of these guys fly over there. And then the Stegodon and these dudes should all, I guess, run over here, and then we'll decide what to do with you once you've approached a little bit. And we have this unit of Ahuax Sentinels. They need to get inside the walls as well. Okay. So, a significant priority is the removal of this group of units. Are you in good rock position now? Oh, you're in great rock position now. Alright, pretty good start. Hey, you! Take orders. Okay, we're chasing them off the walls pretty quickly. So let's have him swing back around one more time. There we go. I missed the wall very slightly. Alright, who else has rocks left? So they currently have only a few bodies actually in the tower control zone. They're going to lose that pretty soon. It might be time to start dropping rocks that are not archer focused, because look at how densely packed the enemies under our feet are. We definitely need some Fire Leech Bola units to... let's see, where's a lord or something down here? Where's a character that our hero can assassinate? Actually, they kept all of their characters back this time. What a bunch of cowards. Sir John the Devoted. So he's a lord, but he doesn't have the big glowing column on him because he's not the lord of the garrison. I don't see the... Oh, here's a... Well, this is a paladin. That's not... That guy's not so scary. I guess he's a character you can fight, though. Go get rid of him. And we're going to have you throw your big old amber spear. That has traditionally been a lot of fun. So we have 2 casters in the army. Usually you don't want to do this because the pool of winds resources is shared. We don't get a lot of extra spell casting out of having 2 casters. But we don't need to worry about this guy's spells until he gets a little bit closer. Alright, so let's see here. Of our initial group of units, who still has resources left? I guess let's command the Fire Leech Bola guys to drop their rocks quickly, because I want to get them refocused on the spearmen on the walls, the spearmen who are holding control of those towers. Trying to get over this like central knot of Bretonnians before we drop. Yep, that'll do. Okay, the damage is extreme. This is a very silly amount of damage we're doing here. All of these guys are Fire Leech Bola guys, remember. So we should probably have them... How much do we want to split off and shoot at other stuff? It's like, we don't need everybody to attack the units behind the gate. We will claim the area behind the gate without all of these. So let's have, like... I guess we'll just command each of them to attack somebody different. Polearms and knights are our primary concern. You attack this unit of Grail Knights? No, you don't want to do that? It didn't actually select them. Okay. Well, that would be why. Yeah, and then we need to make the world a little bit safer for all of our extremely cool dinosaurs. You know how we feel about those dinosaurs. We have a lot of... Jesus, there's a lot of Bretonnians in this castle. Huh, some of the pterodons have, like, really cool wing patterns. That doesn't have anything to do with our decision-making here. I just noticed, and it is neat looking. This is a little bit annoying to do. Unfortunately, they're not really, like, in... The way they're lined up here doesn't really have anything to do with the order they're in on the sheet. We definitely do need some more fire bolas over this way. Wanted to save these guys for this purpose. Okay. And is there a unit of spears? Yes, a healthy unit of spears over there. Alright, so at this point we can probably start knocking on the gate. We've done quite a lot of damage, and it'll still take some time for the Carnosaur to get this thing down all the way. Do we want to have these units run through the little area? Probably. Let's just have these units get over here and get ready to contribute. The Slan is actually pretty fast. Faster than I thought he'd be. Faster than our fancy Sauruses here. What do they have? They have a significant missile resistance buff they can turn on. And let's have a look at our Stegodon. Is that what it's called? Yeah. This is the first time we're actually going to see him do a lot of cool stuff in combat, hopefully. What I would really love is for the Stegodon and the Carnosaur to be buddies first through the gate. We'll see if that actually happens. Okay, so now all of our units have actual targets. Did we... I must have missed with the Amber Spear, because it doesn't seem to have done any damage. Let's get the Wizard to drop a rock. We'll drop a rock on some cavalry here. For a moment there, it sort of looked like some of our flying units were melee attacking. Okay, extra rocks. We have all of these additional rocks to drop. The tangle of guys underneath the cluster of flyers is actually already looking pretty weak. I'm not going to stress too much about those dudes. We could do some cleanup over here. Where have I sent you? Okay. The way we're going to do this is we're just going to zoom to them wherever they are and have them drop rocks on whatever group of Bretonnians is closest. Unfortunately, if I tell them to attack, they will stop moving if they are in range of the thing they're supposed to shoot at. We have to do this by commanding them to move around to locations that are near the target. We're not going to stress too much about exactly what's going on over by the gate. There's an awful lot of bolas being fired by an awful lot of dudes. I think we can safely assume some amount of positive carnage is being wreaked. I only have so much ability to micro, you know? And remember, the fire bombs increase the fire vulnerability of the enemy units. So while we're doing this, we are not just damaging them immediately, but we are increasing the amount of damage that the fire leech bolas do to them for the next several seconds. Okay, does anybody over here still have a rock left? You guys will still have rocks left. Let's fan out and hit this side a little bit now. The Carnosaur's taking his sweet time on that gate, huh? There's a nice cluster of guys right here. Actually, there's not that many of them left anymore. We're already attacking them. We're trying to get these guys. Unfortunately, I don't know... If I tell you to fan out a little bit as you approach... Yeah, okay, we can get a wider hit profile there. They opened the gate before it took a lot of damage, so now we're having a hard time negotiating it. Oh, actually, the gate is properly open. People can move through it. Well, first thing we probably ought to do is wild form up that Carnosaur then. He's going to be in there taking actual damage. The second thing I'm going to do is turn off fire at will on the salamanders. And then I guess it's other dinosaur through, and then some of the skinks, right? Sort of establish a safe zone on the other side of the wall. Actually, the Legion of Chakwa should also head through quickly. Okay. Who still has rocks? Let's go down the line here. You have rocks. Let's figure out where we want to apply those. Probably over this way. Bend that trajectory just a little bit. You still have rocks. You are over here. Alright, the dinosaurs are doing some good work, and we're going to zoom in and observe that very good work in just a moment. These guys have rocks and are not doing anything at all. I guess we don't actually need any more explosives over here. Yeah, I'm gonna reroute these guys. There's not much left in terms of an actual guarding force. Oh no, my hidden units were revealed. Whatever shall we do? Alright, well, we we managed to panic them into giving up before even really engaging with our cool dinosaur units. The Carnosaur took some damage there. I think probably if we were to get a readout of the sources of damage on that Carnosaur, a lot of it would be our own guys throwing explosives at him. Tough dude, though. You gotta give him that. He really is able to just stand in melee, just coated in explosions for very long periods of time. Yeah, we didn't have to take out their characters or anything. Sir John the Devoted took functionally no damage. Alright, well that's the Knights of Arrigo dead. And now it's just Thakin's errantry, and then we're done with the Southern Bretonnians. And it would be really cool if we made friends with the Northern Bretonnians and never had to fight another Bretonnian army again. And we now control this entire province, which is cool. I'm going to put the Public Order province on for now, more for the growth than for the Public Order. Okay, our spellcaster is definitely going to get that thing that summons a manticore, because I need to know about summoning a manticore. That sounds very important to me. And Yarick, the Slan Mage Priest. What do we want to do with him? So he can start picking this line up at level 4. Okay, it's going to be a few levels between each point. We can make him cause terror, and then eventually he can get regeneration, which is cool. But like, it's got to be the case that we want to focus on spells, right? And he already has some pretty good spells. I like Chain Lightning quite a bit, which is pretty far down here. But maybe we're not in a huge hurry to get his spell stuff. Aside from that, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we blue line with him as well, because I really do love upkeep production. I have strong feelings about upkeep production. Yeah. Oh, ambush chance too. I also have feelings about ambush chance. He's already a good spellcaster. We can just let him be good at spellcasting. So these guys will probably hurl themselves against the wall next turn in a vain attempt to make a difference, to recover some of their lost honor. So do we want to probably just want to get like some normal skinks, right? Give this army some ground presence in case they do have to fight on their own. And then, because we're gonna be marching now, we definitely want to. Well, hold on. First thing first, I want to prioritize upgrading the Black Tower. Then, if we have money left, we get Ripperdactyls online. How much is it? It's 3880. So we would have to not recruit any skinks at all to get that started this turn, I think. Now we could recruit one. You know what? I do think I care about this. Yeah, I definitely want this region to be a place where we can do some recruitment. It already has a skink building. Thank you. Thank you to the Bretonnians for that. Okay, I do think that's important. Alright, let's get vision of the settlement of Albion while continuing. Oh, maybe we have to. Okay, there we go. Maybe we weren't quite gonna get there without turning north a little bit. Yeah, just so that we can see if it changes. And yep, there are Skaven agents just hanging out over here. Hopefully they will not assassinate our agent. I don't know too much about these guys, but I'm going to assume that they don't like us, because Lizardmen and Skaven. Yeah. 60 points of aversion. Jeez. Alright, quickly now, let's
Do not greet
flip
me as
through
a
here.
friend.
No trade agreement. Numas is friendly to us. The thing is, I really want Khemri. I think we're probably going to have to stab them in the back. The Dune Kingdoms. The Dune Kingdoms like us a lot. Remember that for the Khemri, or for the Tomb Kings, the Great Power modifier is positive. So as we get bigger and more powerful, the smaller Tomb King kingdoms will like us more and more. But apparently 11 points trending toward 30 is not enough to secure a trade agreement. And does anybody else like us very much? And part of the problem here is that we're fighting enemies who are not really the enemies of anybody else. Nordland definitely doesn't like us enough. We are plus 25 with these guys. Any chance we could get? Nope. No military alliance, no defensive alliance. We don't really need it, to be fair. Okay, we're like slightly positive with some of these nations. Yeah, alright, I think we have all the trade agreements we're gonna get. Oh, I did build a thing. We can put a turn of research into that. We're definitely gonna switch off of it next turn. It is next turn, right? Am I remembering correctly? Yes, it is totally next turn. I would love to end this episode by finishing off Thagan's errantry and like taking full control of our starting desert region. I was not expecting having so many Bretonnians around us to be such a huge pain in the ass. I thought we were going to be able to like solidify and then push east. Okay, for a second there, I thought we were getting assassinated. Nope, the Skaven are just going out into the world to... probably to steal things to bring home to build their nests with. Ooh. Honor Lowe's a pleasant-looking dude, huh? Maybe after we take out Thagan's errantry, we'll focus on Sartosa next? Like... Oh, hey, this is the Court of Liberis. Apparently they're over here, and they're about to wipe out... I don't remember, Clan Moors, I think? They're about to wipe out these Skaven dudes. Well, that's good for us. The dwarves confederated that other minor faction of dwarves that also declared war on the prospectors. So you see this happen from time to time. A larger faction will just integrate a smaller faction into them, gaining control of the smaller faction's land and characters and stuff. We are hoping to be able to do that with the faction of lizardmen that started over here, provided they're still alive by the time we get there. Yep, and Wood Elves and Arguelon are the two Wood Elf factions. So they're just going to war with absolutely everybody. Well, the good news is that Wood Elves do not, if I remember correctly, do not get to build full-sized, like, real settlements outside of their magic forest. So if they take over a lot of territory out here, they take a lot of stuff away from people, they leave it as, like, lightly defended outposts, and it might be easier for us to go in there and take it back. There is, of course, some danger in declaring war on the Wood Elves, because they are vindictive and just angry people in general. But that's true to such a degree that I suspect we would be unable to avoid ending up in conflict with them anyway. I don't want to say that this campaign is definitely going to involve us going in there and burning down the whole forest like the last one did, but it's a non-zero possibility. Alright, we might be able to just auto-resolve this safely. And we're about to get our full... Oh, we're about to get a full tick of recruitment. But you know what, let's just do it manually just in case. I've definitely gotten into the habit of just fighting all of the minor battles because occasionally you hit auto-resolve on something that looks incredibly safe, and oops, we killed 2 of your high veterancy units. It wouldn't be a big deal to lose red-crested skinks in the sense that we could hire them back, but we certainly wouldn't hire them back with all of their accumulated XP. Alright, should be very quick though. Honestly, the rock dropping will probably handle a lot of it. So let's have... Okay, we'll do this. Of the units that have ranged attacks forward, we might be able to kill them before they actually join melee. Where's the flyer? Here he is. Oh, I suppose this is a good time to test the manticore thing. How does this... Do I target an area, or... Yeah, alright. Give me a manticore. We need to see that. And you guys all just get in here. So, firebolas... Shoot at the units that are healthiest, I guess? And then the other Pterodon riders can focus on weaker units. And of course, our skink chief focuses on their lord. My plan was definitely to generate us an amber spear. But I forgot that we could get a manticore. What does a manticore look like in practice? Okay. Alright, that's pretty neat. He's a summoned unit. So presumably he's going to fade quickly. Let's have him get in here and do a thing. Remember, as the enemy closes in, they're going to first have to bear the... What is this? Aura of Quetzal. Why do I have an Aura of Quetzal? Oh, you know what? This might be a thing that we have because we're in a friendly region that has some defenses built up. Some of the defensive buildings give additional abilities to armies fighting in that area. But yeah, if they got anywhere near us, they'd have to fight. They'd have to go through the salamanders first. Did that manticore die already? Oh no, it just forgot what it was supposed to be doing. Let's see how their lord is handling this. Oh, you know, he's on horseback, so he gets to stay on his feet at least. Alright, I think we're gonna just... If these guys want to go through to fight our salamanders, I think that's okay. We'll probably be alright. Oh, they want to fight our lord? Then we drop the rocks. Okay, so the manticore doesn't stick around forever. We want to be a little bit more judicious about when we summon it. A little, wait until the armies actually join. And I have no idea how much damage it did, because we weren't watching it fight for long enough. Who knows? Maybe it's a good unit. It's certainly an extra unit. There's something to be said for just being able to put an extra unit into the air behind the enemy and have it do a flank charge. As you've seen, the morale damage from that can be very extreme. And just get through that with actually 0 losses, and now I think they should be wiped out. I won't have to put up with that nonsense again. And then we just march hard on, what's that? The name of that port starts with a Z or something. Do we need to kill an eat? We probably don't need to kill an eat. And I definitely don't want to lower our casualty replenishment rate. But at this point, with everybody so high level, 100 XP is not really meaningful, so I guess let's take a little bit of replenishment. Seriously, they're still alive. Ugh, that's very annoying. Oh, we leveled up. We got a regiment of renown, of Ripperdactyl riders at least. We'll put those in Tiktaq'to's army to fill it up. Raise or sack 2 settlements in order to get some Blessed Saurus warriors. Well, I'd be lying if I said that this was as exciting as our last 2 Blessed spawnings. Also, man, I don't really want to be raising and sacking stuff when we could be taking control of it instead. We have 20 turns to figure it out. Lord Croak stirs. The mighty venerable Lord Croak stirs from his deep slumber, his power so great that even death could not hold back his commitment to the great plan. Seek him out, for his support is invaluable. I'm working on it. That's the game giving me the hurry it upside. Alright, more red line. So we have our Swift Rider skill all the way maxed out. We need 6 points to move up to here. So what is the other skill we're going to max? This is sources, skinks, and salamanders. Well, it's probably this one then. So missile damage up for skinks and salamanders, weapon strength up for both of them. Yeah. We run a pretty skink heavy army still. And also, salamanders are great. Alright, Tic-Tac-Toe, just finish these guys off. I'm going to trust the auto-resolver on this one. Okay, lost 0. Good, that's what I was looking for. Well, at this point, the replenishment does literally nothing, so I guess we'll take the 100 XP. It's not good, but again, it's not actually nothing, so what are you going to do? Oh, our hero is also leveling up, so we could put him down on a Stegodon soon if we really wanted to. I'm definitely going to give him this temporary buff that dramatically increases speed. You can see a lot of uses for that already. And let's march off in the direction of Xandri. Xandri is the place. Alright, so they have... What do they have going on here exactly? Okay, still just that one. Oh, they changed out the recruitment building for the one that lets you get men-at-arms. Or it might just be that it's showing what the highest level lets you recruit. Because I think this is that same building. So at lower levels, it's swords and spears, and at the top level, it adds polearms.
Lord of Bretonia.
Yep, they have a lot of bad units here. Well, I'm pretty sure we want to just keep heading through this way. Where exactly is the Golden Tower? We have 2 turns left to declare and get this buff. We'll declare next turn. The Golden Tower is all the way down here. Holy crap. I guess actually there's an indicator on the map for where the quest is. That's handy. Okay, so 4,400 gold left is definitely buy some upgrades territory. Also, we can... Oof, it's going to take us a long time to interpret the old one's meaning. We better get started. But once we've got this, it'll unlock this middle tier, and then once we have anything in the middle tier, we'll unlock the stuff beyond in that row. And in order to get this, we're going to need a geomantic locus. This is probably just like all of the purple buildings. Star chamber, yeah, okay, that's a distant concern. How are we doing here on population? Well, we do have a slot open. So I'm debating, like, how much do we want to add a recruitment buildings to this province? Probably we really don't, right? So what do we want to do with this slot then? Claimed tunnels, makes it more likely that you will discover Skaven building cities under your stuff. I don't think that's a problem for us over here. At least not right now. So what can we build instead? I guess there's not really a whole lot else of value to build. I don't think it much helps us to have a scrying pool over here. So it's like we could build a stone marker for the purpose of just getting a little bit more money. And it really would not be much. It's 10% at max level. Or we could build just a recruitment structure so that if we lose stuff on the front, we don't lose access to those troops. I guess that's fine. But we would not want to build one of these 2 lines in a small settlement, obviously. So, backup flyer building, but that's not a high priority. Right now, while we have this money instead, it makes more sense to, like, upgrade stuff like that, or to start building purple buildings. We don't have a sacrificial altar of Sotek. It does give us access to some cool dinosaurs. Do we need one of these for this? Well, hold on. It wouldn't be the name of the first level building we'd be looking for, though. We'd be looking for, like, Crimson Pyramid or Blood Shrines. Okay, I don't think that did appear on there. We do need a Weapon Crafter's Commune. We already have a Star Chamber. Corral Arena, Pyramid. I don't think any of that stuff was on that list. No, it was not. Ziggurat of the Old Ones. So that'll be the upgrade from the Shrine of the Old Ones. A Star Chamber, which is what lets us recruit Slan. We have one of those. A Temple Guard Barracks, a Geomantic Locus, and a Weapon Crafter's Commune. A Temple Guard Barracks is going to be a recruitment structure. Yeah. You know, we could just start building redline stuff here for the purpose of unlocking tech. That's not terrible. We do need these somewhere. But actually, for right now, maybe it's most worthwhile to just build more stuff that makes money. And I guess leveling up our settlements is a good idea. I bet at some point we're going to get a quest that's like, have a bunch of stuff at level 4. Do we need to use population to grow a settlement building anywhere? That's probably a better use of our immediate cash. Okay, so these two provinces down here could both use some of that. Let's upgrade Lashiek. We got to remember to, like, get walls up around all of this stuff back here before somebody on the western continent, maybe somebody with whiskers and a highly developed sense of cowardice, realizes that there are relatively soft settlements available on this beach. Oh, yeah. So you may have noticed that when I moved this guy, when I ordered a move that was apparently very slightly beyond normal movement range, I tried to fix it and have him stop, because if a unit has any amount of movement orders remaining, it won't ask for orders during your turn, and then when you hit and turn, it will just execute whatever it has left and then stop and not ask for further orders. So this guy effectively didn't get a move this turn because I couldn't get him to discard his previous move very slightly further than I told you order, and I didn't remember to go and move him manually, because, you know, I'm like that. We do need to probably, after we get vision of the Golden Tower in this whole area down in the southeast, we're probably going to send that skink, the exploration skink, up to visit the lands of men up here. Partly because I want to know what the vampires are up to. It has been my experience that the vampire nations have a tendency to spiral wildly out of control over there. And if that's happening, I want to know about it because it's going to affect how we approach the north. It may be worth it. We're planning to come north and we're planning to spend a lot of time up here and take a lot of territory. It may be worth it to go through the Badlands so that we can hit what will be the economic center of the vampire land, the western Sylvania and stuff, instead of attacking them at the fringes of their expanding power and then having to work backwards toward their economic stuff. Economies win wars. It's very important to strengthen your own economy while disrupting the enemy economy. And killing enemy armies is not actually useful if you don't disrupt their economy, because they can put them back together really quickly. So for some reason, only a single rogue army has spawned. That's usually not the case. Like, we're pretty far into this game. I would like to see more rogue armies. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts from the heavens scour souls from bodies, whilst raging torrents of fire rend the very flesh from bone. Magic can rip enemies into a dozen pieces, or leave nothing but an ugly bloodstain where they once stood. The power granted by the cataclysm many eons ago can be harnessed now to bring ruin and destruction upon our enemies. All those who feel the pull of magic feel it grow as the world festers under chaos's ruinous gaze. But their need to ravage grows stronger and stronger by the hour. So basically, what they were trying to say there is magic. There's a lot of it now. Okay. I don't really care about that. So we should probably sail around the northern shore of the Elf Island. Try to get a more complete picture of what's happening in Elfitania. Also, we're getting a lot of just like passive XP level ups. So what is leveling this up again do? It just lowers the cost from 13 to 7. You still only get 2 charges of it. We overcast with him a lot. I think it might be a good idea to lower our miscast chance. What does this do? Oh, it gives him 4 charges of Fireball. That's cool. Oh, we will probably get that when the time comes. So we got to get 4 points in this box before we can get Arcane Conduit. Arcane Conduit so dramatically increases the amount of wins you have available for casting. This is an extremely high priority here. Alright, hold on a second. Let's Let's grab this dude and move him forward. Oh, you see that little bit of red on the ground? That's me making that same mistake. We're close. We've encountered the Silver Host. This is a vampire faction by the shape of their shield. Yeah, that is a...
I will not betray you.
That is a necromancer lord. Sorry, does he... Like, he's a little weird looking. Does he have another torso strapped onto the front of his torso? Is that what I'm seeing there? He totally does. Look at the little arms. Oh, no, he's actually facing... He's facing away from us. I got tricked. Oh, no, I fell for the thing. He's wearing this on his back so that predators won't know which way he's facing, and I totally fell for it. Well, that's embarrassing. Alright, let's grab this unit of Ripperdactyls. And then declare war. We have a mission to complete. Hey, Xander.
What vile filth stands before me?
Really? You see my armies massed up on the border and that's how you're going to talk to me? Well, you deserve this. Congratulations, we did it. So, plus 10 leadership when fighting against men. Kind of doesn't matter, we don't have any leadership problems. But 500 gold for clicking an option on a menu, I will take every time. So it looks like we do in fact have the movement range to just do this. Probably what we should do here... Yeah, probably the smart version of this is we lightning strike this army, defeat them in the field with Tiktaq'to's army, and then we can have, if Tiktaq'to's army comes out of that without a lot of damage, they can lead the assault on Xandria, and if not, these guys can lead the assault, and Tiktaq'to can back them up. So let's start by attacking Frederic Armchair something? Archambault, I think, is how that would be pronounced. There we go. The balance of power bar is starting to understand the situation. Well, it's pretty important that we not suffer a lot of additional losses here, so let's just do this way. Probably if we'd hit auto-resolve, my guess is all or most of our red-crested skinks would have died. So they have a fair number of spears, but not a lot of polearms. This should be a pretty easy fight. We're definitely going to have to still be careful. Very low power reserve, but decent starting wins. Yeah, sure, it's fine. Trying to figure out, so like these little bits of elevation change on the ground can actually wreak havoc on your ability to aim with units like salamanders. Just trying to figure out where I think the best spot to put the salamanders is. Maybe do it like here? Does the ground look there? Yeah, I think that's pretty favorable for us. We might want to move forward a little bit. Ripperdactyls do not want to go in immediately, but let's have them over here. Also, let's look at them. Check out the jaw. We got a real like Baron Underbite thing going on. Okay, so let's look at the stats. They have Toad Rage. Well, sure, who hasn't had Toad Rage once or twice? They have significant physical and missile resistance. They cause fear. They have Frenzy. And they seem like good units. We just gotta not let them get completely surrounded by enemy spears. Even bad spears do a pretty good job against large units. Just because the bonus versus type is a really powerful thing. Alright, Skink Chief. Go get him. And we definitely are going to summon the Amber Spear upon him as well. You know what, maybe I should have him fly over first. Because if we fire from a more above angle, there's probably a lower chance of missing. There's a degree of accuracy involved, so basically like we want to be as close as possible before firing, I think. And then, as always, we're just looking to soften up their anti-dinosaur troops. Sorry. These two units, who are next to each other in the selection thing, are on opposite sides of the line. I do wish the game would do that in a slightly more thoughtful way. Okay, yep, just target somebody. Get these initial drop spheres out. Maybe focus on these guys first. Seems like those ones might be under control. That could have been a little bit more central. Let's make sure that we are commanding these units to fall back. I wasn't thinking about I was looking at all their army and thinking, hey, none of those guys are even mounted. We can afford to play way up, but that's less true than I was thinking. Let's have the Carnosaur come up a little bit. I may want him to suddenly engage the enemy lord. And now let's try the Amber Spear. I'm hoping we won't miss just due to him being mobile, but I could totally see that happening, I guess. Look at how these guys are grouping up. Yep, not bad. Alright, let's have Tiktaq'to and the Carnosaur engage their lord while the Skinks continue to fall back. We gotta be wary. Like, look out for locations where the Ripperdactyls could jump on a bunch of swordsmen without getting attacked by anything else. Like over here, perhaps. And also look for opportunities to drop a lot of rocks on a lot of guys. The Ember Spear did, by the way, definitely miss. Okay. This guy's in really dire shape. I mean, just if you even if you just ignore our Lord, just this situation seems so bad. He looks very brave, though. You can tell you can tell he knows he's gonna die, and he's just like, all right, whatever. This is what I signed up for, I guess. Let's have these guys turn around and try to get rid of those spears real quick. You have rocks to drop. I think we're pretty close to winning this battle. And one Ripperdactyl decided that it's too good for this fight. Alright, who's actually still fighting? I'm seeing a lot of surrender. Okay, there's some guys over on this side who are still up. Let's handle them. Also, I'm gonna summon a Manticore because summoning Manticores is neat. So you guys aim over here and let's do a thing. Boy, that really has a sharp effect on their morale. Okay, I was gonna say, at this moment, who is still not running away? But it turns out nobody. Nobody is not running away. No two units are not fleeing the battle. And then... okay, there we go. I was gonna say, and then it crashed, huh? 7 losses. Once again, pretty good odds that some of that was friendly fire. Oh no, all 7 of it was... when this guy charged into the unit of Skinks, he killed 7 of them with the initial charge. Skinks are really fragile. Like, very, very fragile. Alright, the Ripperdactyls got to taste blood a little bit there. We have no sense of how good they are at fighting. None of that has actually been worked out yet. But I mean, they killed 32 people. They were only in combat for like a couple of seconds. Granted, they're fighting terrible Bretonnian infantry, so that doesn't necessarily mean a ton, but it's at least promising. It's a promising hint of potential. Let's, I guess we'll take the kill and eat. It's 600 gold. Nope, I'm taking the tiny amount of XP. Alright, we are a superior attacker. Plus 4 melee attack is nice. And that army, when armies fall back from battle, they move a certain distance as the crow flies, so to speak, regardless of what the terrain looks like. So this guy moved probably most of a full turn of movement across this big river. That's always annoying, every single time it happens. We probably still want Tiktaq'to to lead the actual battle here. Siege up, and then move in for reinforcement position. Move into a reinforcement position. How's that army
I will
doing?
not blight my soul.
Okay, we didn't actually kill almost any of them because we just broke them so quickly. Which means that when we have to fight them again on the coming turn, it's going to be an actual fight, but you know what it's going to look like. Alright, this will be the last one of this exact same siege for a while, hopefully. You know, be facing some more varied enemies. It is a little bit of a shame when you end up fighting the same faction for a long time, because the sieges really do get extremely samey, and unfortunately there just aren't enough different siege maps to help offset it. So this level, Tiktaq'to is going to get the 3rd point in the Skink and Salamander buff skill. Next level he gets the intermediate red skill, and the level after that he'll be able to start picking up those huge veterancy buffs, which is going to be really, really good for us. So the enemies are... Actually, there's a ton of safe areas over here, so let's grab you guys and throw you in the safe area. And then the Carnosaur, I think we're just doing the same thing that we usually do. Carnosaur just runs up near the door and hangs out, but doesn't start shooting right away. Or start headbutting, rather. And all of the other flyers should start as far forward as they possibly can. Minimize wall time. Okay. All of you guys get up here. We're actually going to have the salamanders turn sideways. I want them to be in a position where they're not all gummed up inside of our other guys so that they can shoot pretty cleanly. Okay. I guess we should command the Fire Leech Bolas first. There and kill those guys. There and kill those guys, and you are also on this side. Well, whatever. There, that totally works. Skink, get him. Wizard, get in there. Hero, get in there. Ripperdactyls, get in there. I'm not sure that we'll actually use them, but they should be in there. Their mere presence causes stress, and enemies do not like to have... People do not like to have enemy units behind them, even if those enemy units aren't currently attacking or anything. It's just one more source of leadership penalties that we can apply. There we go. Yeah, fight him from over here. Alright. Let's try again with the Ember Spear. Seems like we're missing these cavalry lords a lot. Let's try to keep an eye on what's happening here while simultaneously getting some rocks off. Yeah, they're able to outrun the projectile. That's unfortunate. But our units are spreading out in kind of a funny way. It's making it hard to get a decent drop. Whatever, that'll have to do. Yeah, see, like, some of our guys didn't move at all there, while the others did. I don't know. It's weird. Did you get inside the wall before you do that, maybe? Alright, we're doing some fine work over here, I see. Oh, look at how grouped up all these dudes are. That's just very unsporting, is what that is. Get that improved drop spear over here. I think this will be a pretty good spot for it. Hey, are you coming? I think he's getting hung up on the other flyers. Yeah, geez, look at the carnage. Over here is where they are densest. Move. There we go. There we go. Okay. Well, that's almost done. And then we still have all these guys. Geez. Let's send him to the gate. Dinosaur buddies work the gate. I have left these dudes in a position where this tower is able to shoot them, but it just so much it doesn't matter. The degree to which it does not matter is so great. I'll get over here by the door, I suppose. Okay. Our salamanders are shooting explosions up at the wall. I don't know if they're actually getting anything done. But yeah, I mean, usually the crenellations on the wall are pretty good at keeping units safe behind them. But those are explosions. The explosiveness may be making a difference. Alright, so we definitely know where we're going to drop some of the incoming rocks over on this side. Do any of the units that are still inside, they're already inside the walls? Yeah, you do. We still have rocks available. No, but the new guys have lots of them. So what we're pretty likely to see here, I think, is what we saw with the last siege, where they just give up long before we're actually ready to engage in melee. For some reason, these guys don't have the second rock ability. It's weird. Yeah, we have so many more explosive attacking units here now. Okay, you guys are chasing people off the map. I respect that. I often get distracted by seeing my own units in the distance, like, hey, what the hell are those guys doing? And then after I figure out what those guys are doing, I've forgotten what orders I was issuing. I'm trying to get them to fan out as they approach the target so we can get a little bit denser coverage. There are almost no enemies left in fighting condition. Not everybody's running, but we'll soon see at some point they will feel weak enough that they'll just give up. We've seen that happen a couple of times already. Okay, that's dealt with. Yeah, you sometimes see it happen where like armies just completely surrender once they're reduced to a certain proportion of their base strength. Okay, he wasn't running around. I'm gonna drop a manticore on him. May as well, right? Get Tiktaq'to over here as well. Oh, and the salamanders are arcing shots over. That does not seem to be a very reliable behavior, but man, when they do it, it's super cool. Okay, so those guys are permanently broken. There we go. And in theory, the dinosaurs would have finished the gate off at some point. I don't think they're actually attacking it even. It was at 14 damage. Yeah, we have one hell of an army here. The second wave of reinforcement bombers is so powerful. Like, we're not even really getting to see the value of the Stegodon or how cool the Slan is, because we don't need them at all. But these armies are going to split up and have different things to do pretty soon, now that we have, like, finally destroyed the forces that we've been fighting basically since the very beginning of the game, right? We are going to get a little bit more expansionistically minded. Somebody's probably going to have to go east and try to set up a position from which we can conquer those eastern deserts. Somebody's going to have to go north and start working on Sartosa. Alright, once again we control Xandri, and there's so much population here that we can immediately cap it. Yeah, man, Khemri is a 10 slot settlement. That's going to be really nice to have. Alright, so we finish this thing off. We get Rally, which is a buff we can activate to give leadership to nearby units. Not really been a problem for us so far. And then all this really good stuff. And someday, Yarrick the Slan Mage Priest will be really important to us. I'm sure of it. Alright, so these guys are going to come back at us. They're going to get horribly murdered. It's just going to be a terrible sight. Do we want to cap... We probably do want to cap Kofor's walls. Yeah, we have a lot of wall building to do over on the western front. Our shoreline must be as a fortress, because things are going to get bad eventually. So this will be the last cycle of enemy turns that we run for the video. I'm expecting this errantry army to charge us and get murked the way the last one did. And then we're probably only a couple of turns away from the Golden Tower and being able to advance the Lord Croak questline. And when we get Lord Croak, he probably will not go in Tiktaq'to's army. I'm just thinking, like, during the Vampire Coast Let's Play, I kept too many of my powerful, like, really powerful weapons grouped up in one army, and it made that army hilariously effective. Like, conquer entire nations by itself effective. But it really did leave me feeling a little anemic in other places, and it probably would have been the case that that army would have been able to get the job done by itself anyway. So, I want to split up our most powerful toys this time, trying to make sure that each army has a little piece of power. And then we'll have, like, probably, eventually, we'll have, like, each of the armies that have really powerful things in them leading one front with some weaker, less impressive backup armies. You know, at some point we're going to have 3 or 4 times the number of active units we have now, and there's still a lot left, I guess is what I'm saying. This series is not close to over. It might look like it because we actually are making some pretty fast progress, checking things off the objective list, but that last objective, what we might describe as the Phase 3 objective, is going to take some effort, some doing. So we're just about done with Phase 1 now, which is like securing our immediate area, making it so that we don't have to constantly be concerned about threats on every side of us. Phase 2 will be getting over here and taking over the stuff that we need to take in these distant jungles. And yeah, I know it all looks like sand. Trust us, it's jungles. The plan says so. They're trying to assassinate my guy and prevent me from reaching the Golden Tower. That's just a very annoying thing for them to be doing. The good news is, a failed assassination attempt like that makes you a little bit more resistant to the next assassination attempt because you're more aware. So probably the fact that he survived that means that he will stay up. Let's go ahead and manual one last battle against the southern Bretonnian forces, the Bretonnian colonists, I guess? So I'm not really even sure why there are Bretonnians down here. Oh, they attacked us near enough the river that we get to use the river choke point. Well, if they had had any chance of taking us down before, it is gone now. This is extremely defensible. That's fine. Alright, so I'm just going to stretch this. I'm just going to put the salamanders right there. We'll put all the melee units and stuff nearby to run in and take over as the enemies approach. Now let's get the flyers out here and do that thing we do. Wizard as close as possible to the edge of the deployment area. You guys can be over here. I guess you should be... Okay. Getting to be a little bit perfunctory. You attack there, you attack... something. We probably ought to replace... Like, I hate to lose units that have a lot of experience, but it probably is the case that we should just replace the normal pterodons with Fire Leech guys. Because the normal pterodons are just completely worse, right? There's no benefit. Oh, their lord's almost dead already. That's pretty cool. We might be able to snipe that guy. Especially if he's not careful and we're able to get, like, the Ripperdactyls onto him or something. Alright, so let's start with the rock that's getting dropped by the Skink Chief. Because he's going to be very distracted for the rest of the battle. Alright, and then you know what it is. I love how tightly grouped they always are. You would think after what happened last time, they would have figured out that spreading out, maybe even just marching in a wider line instead of doing this double rank thing would be very helpful to them, but apparently you can't teach an old Bretonian new tricks. Let's just shatter the front line. And remember, them seeing nearby friends panic and break will have an effect on their leadership. So we're likely to get a good cascading effect if we can just get some of them down. Oh, this is the wizard. I'm gonna try it. Let's see if we can catch him. He's moving pretty slowly and predictably. Yep. Right in the back. Have all these flying units get up here. Still have a rock or two that could be dropped. And of course, as soon as they get anywhere near the salamanders, things are going to get suddenly a lot worse for them. Where's Tiktaq'to? He hasn't dropped either of his rocks yet. Jesus Christ. Why did he stop? Why did he get close enough and then stop? I'm not trying to pretend I'm the greatest military strategist of our time or anything, but that seems like just a phenomenally bad move. Okay. This will be the part where we try to close ranks in front of the salamanders. Maybe we're going to back them up a little bit. We have a lot of poisons coming forward. You can do stuff. Here comes the second set of bombers. The Lord's going to die pretty soon here. See some poison. Hey guys, with the poison. Okay, the Carnosaur's got him under control. Oh, look at this. Look at this grouping of very foolish men. Oh god, my poor skinks. That huge wave of bola fire was, that was a lot. That was a lot of damage. Is this guy... Damn it. I hate it when the camera falls in a hole like that. Their lord is actually getting away. Hold on a second. We can stop this. Where are the Ripperdactyls? Ripperdactyls, get him. We don't have to let him escape. How did you forget that you were supposed to be fighting? He's gonna get away. He's gonna get away because our skink hero just decided to stop fighting him. Alright, fine. That's a little frustrating. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, so 21 losses, probably almost all of that, that moment where all of our fire leech bolas from the second army just dropped explosives directly on top of our own dudes. Hey, you know what? They're okay. I assume it was them. So we have to go to war with Numas. Or we have to ally with Numas, I guess, but I would rather own Khemri myself. So we're going to end up back at war with the Tomb Kings. We got to take the Black Pyramid as well. But once we have our two Great Pyramids... We'll take this. What is this? What is this cowardice? Once we have our two Great Pyramids, we're actually going to have a lot of freedom. We have a few goals before us, the whole world stretching out in all directions, and not a lot of, like, really obvious decisions for our next target. The priests of Sotek, ever mindful of the need to press the Serpent God's cause on the field of battle, are uneasy at certain technological developments. Listen, I'm all about technological developments. Oh hey, and we're rich. We've completed 4 of our 5 bonus objectives this chapter without knowing what they were. Okay, we got access to a new Regiment of Renown. Keep stacking and raising stuff. Things are just going to keep getting better. Okay, we got a lot of loot. for some reason, that turn. So we know we're taking rally. No two ways about that. Get out of here. Over here... over here, what do we want to take? Just an extra +5 speed? Sure, I guess. I don't really know what else to do with him. And he's kind of got all the points that are useful if we're going to keep him in the sky. A little bit of extra magic reserve. What does this do? It is a massive accuracy reduction and a pretty powerful melee attack and speed reduction as well. What does it do when it's overcasted? It affects even more area. It seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and pick it up. We'll get magical reserves next, and then we'll be able to pick up Arcane Conduit. And at that point, what is this guy's name? Sunout will be a very impressive caster indeed. Alright, let's finish the job. I want to be done with these guys. We can probably take the auto-resolve there. They're damaged enough. Okay, once again, this does actually nothing, so let's... Tiktaq'to is truly fearless, and we've done it. We have finally done it. I don't know how many episodes we are in now, like 10 or something, but finally, we are finished with the Bretonnians that we knew we were going to have to fight since the very beginning. We have 12,000 gold to play with, we have some idea of our next moves, and we have a very powerful pair of armies to accomplish those moves with. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, Monday. The future is looking very bright. And we'll see you then.